latest news. Clark County is regulating short-term rentals. Oh my goodness. I think we knew that was coming. Let's see. Let me hide this baby and show you. It worked. They're seeking to resident feedback on short-term rentals as official look to regulate the often divisive industry by July 1st, a state-mandated move that will be a departure from the county's current ban. So officials launched an online survey late last month to gauge residents' personal experience with vacation. I know I'm missing something. With vacation rentals such as Airbnb and VRBO, and how they believe the industry should be governed in the unincorporated county. So let me make sure that you can hear me. Do my little sound check here. Yes, you can. Okay, cool. The survey, which is open to people in local incorporated cities, will be available through the end of January, and officials say they'll consider responses as they draft a regulatory ordinance, which must ultimately be approved by the county commission. So short-term rentals have been a polarizing issue between some who say they are a property right and important to small investors who criticize the emergence of so-called party houses in tight-knit residential areas. And I think you could all possibly understand that because we sell real estate and we don't want people not to buy in a particular area because of Airbnb or the VRBO. So the pivot from a ban to legalization comes after the state passed Assembly Bill 363 last summer, forcing the county to regulate them. Amid strong evidence that outlawing the industry has been ineffective because more than 6,000 properties have been estimated to be defying the prohibition in the unincorporated county. So we are not exactly sure what's going to happen there. So that was one thing in the news. And then I would be so remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about.
How about that touchdown to start off the fourth quarter to really go ahead at that time, and then the big play that set up the field goal?
No, Derek did a good job of scrambling and finding me, and I'd like to think all our Xbox chemistry came into play there.
Xbox chemistry, so maybe homage there to Madden.
Anyway, here we go. Next is CES. It's here. And what a time they're having. Look at those people. I'm anxious to see, how many people actually are the attendees, because they said, as I said yesterday, 15,000 had registered as of December 22nd, but we'll see the numbers hopefully Saturday after the show. Oops, what happened there? Okay. And some of these things are just amazing. The drones, this is the Bobcat electric loader, Bobcat back in the back there, electric loader versus gasoline. And then I can see here this big drone. Oh my goodness, it's huge. What else do we have? Look at that game. So attendee, they play a shooting game with the use of the VRLO VR game. I guess that's a brand because I'm not a gamer. During the first day at the Las Vegas Convention Center. Wow, look at that. Can you just imagine? Holy moly. And then look at this. I was really interested in this because, the drones are playing the drums. I mean, the robots are playing the drums. Wow. Amazing. And this I showed just because of the size of the screen. It's a giant electronic board. and that's at the West Hall, and it's advertising the show amongst other things, and that's the clip that we caught. And this is another electronic concept car from Sony Vision. Sony's going to build cars. Am I understanding that? Gosh, I can't wait to read all the details after the show. I tried to search this one out. I couldn't find it, but I mean, it looks like Sony's building a car, a Vision electronic concept car. Wow, amazing. And then look at this. This is they've developed an integrated all-in-one electric vehicle wheel system, an electric wheel system to display. They displayed. Wow. Oh, a lot of electricity going on. And another robot. Amazing. Robots are in. And this is cool. This is a John Deere fully autonomous, meaning that it drives itself as a tractor. Wow. And then the Boring Company. Now, everybody knows Elon Musk owns the Boring Company. And I always have to laugh at the name because boring to me means boring. But boring means going down into the concrete, into the caliche, to do underground tunneling through Las Vegas. And it handled the CE rush with no hangups. And I was reading, I think there was a convention in October, November. It had 100,000 attendees at that convention. Amazing during COVID, right? Anyway, they had no hangups with that either. So evidently it's working. I think one person complained that it goes too slow. It only goes 40 miles an hour. I only go 40 miles an hour on the highway, so I don't know what's wrong with that. And then let's see, was that it? That's it for that. Let's hide that. Did I have anything else here that I wanted to show you? Oh my gosh, look at this screen. This is a large video screen in Samsung display. Look how huge that is. I mean, compared to the people, look, that is like a TV screen, everybody. Amazing stuff, amazing. And then this is something else, buses that drive themselves. I mean, that's amazing. All this autonomous electric robots, all these new games, of course, come into play. Years and years ago, I did go to the CES, but I haven't gone in years. I was just trying to think. I don't know when the last one I went to. But anyway, I even in my day of computers and things even displayed at the CES show. One of my companies, Computer-Based Training, was one of the first training companies to actually do interactive training via computer. And we did that. Our biggest client was AT&T. So we had a huge display and got, some pretty healthy clients out of it. But anyway, those days are gone. Now, what is going on now? That's the Las Vegas news tidbits for the day. And now we're going to go on and look at our stats. So we have 21 days of inventory. The single family homes have gone down. However, if you'll notice, I have adjusted everything to the $430,000 median price range. And that is the median price range in our zip codes. Now, let's see. If you look over here, they're saying at the end of December, it was 425. And this just came out today, I believe, or maybe it was late yesterday. This is the December snapshot, housing snapshot provided by LVR, and George McCabe does this. I love him. But anyway, yeah. So the only difference between them and us is we say 430, they say 425. But if you go in the MLS and do the stats, like I showed you yesterday, it actually shows 430. And I'll show you that just so you know. This was the stats from the MLS in our zip codes, which I've listed in the group, all the zip codes that cover the Las Vegas area. And one of the things I wanted to share with you today is in here. Let me hide this for just a second. I highlighted up here. What they do is they use Clark County, Nye County, Lincoln, White Plains, counties in Nevada. And from time to time, they allocate other areas as well. Hi, Karen. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, I started on time this morning, so imagine that. Anyway, so yeah, I wanted everybody to see the difference. Now, these other counties, don't necessarily have, the high prices that we do. So it does affect the median price when you add in other counties and their sales. So just wanted to make that clear, because if you read in the Review Journal today, they also they got this. I think George sends it to him as soon as he does it, and they did a piece on that as well, using the 425. In any event, we listed 76 homes yesterday. We put 81 under contract, and we closed 80. So we're just bopping along here. And month to date, my gosh, it's the sixth day of January, and we've done 65 homes a day. Amazing. And that's compared to last year, same time, we were doing 56 homes a day. For the year, of course, 326, and that's 65. And last year, we ended the year with 139 sales a day. So we'll see what happens the first month. We got a few more. What do you have? 3 more weeks? Oh my gosh, time does fly. $1 million homes slow down a little bit, and we're down to 2 plus a day. Last year we were at 4.5 a day. We'll see. I think that you'll see more of the $1 million homes come on the market, and the sales will go up. Although the availables haven't changed that much, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not so sure about that number, why it's so low right now. The other thing I did is I adjusted the median price single family homes under and what we have on the MLS that's under 430, under the median. We listed 31 yesterday, which that's terrific. And that gives us 703 homes that are 430,000 and under. Then I did the home price of 430 with 10% down, interest rate at 3%, loan amount being 387,000. When you put 10% down, that's your loan amount. And principal, interest, taxes, and insurance make a payment of $1,973. And for our average home, the rents are probably pretty competitive right now with that. So that is our outlook. The investor sales, we're 26 a day, again, down a little bit, but it's the first week of the year. So things are going to adjust as we go along. So that is that. We are going to talk video today as we approach the next segment of my show. The first segment, I'm doing the news. The second segment, I'm doing the stats. Hi, good morning. Grand Rising. Yes, Grand Rising. Woohoo. Thank you. Anyway, this third part of the show, we talk about real estate, we talk about social media, we talk about things of that nature. So today, let's see, let me just get rid of that, get rid of some of this stuff off my dashboard here so I can have more room. So today I want to talk about video, and I want to start out with something that I did, probably took me 5 minutes to do. And Jimmy's not here. I wanted to surprise Jimmy, but let's just show this little video anyway. So I did that little video as you can use it as an intro, as a little ad, something that you repeatedly send out there, put it on TikTok. It's very short. You can put it on Instagram. You can do a lot of things with a short video like that. And it took like just minutes to make. And then I did another one because I am not good at telling people to subscribe, like, and share. So I did a video that does it. So that's another little video that I did. And I mean, again, 5 minutes. And these things are personalized, so they don't seem so commercialized. So you personalize them with your picture and with your name and things like that. Anyway, just wanted to show you that. And then today's main event is going to be Glenda Baker. Glenda Baker was at the end of the show yesterday on Tom Ferry's or Jason's roundtable discussion here. And she just rocks. And she is going to tell you her story, which, and then we're going to have, this is not that long today. It's not, I think about, 10 minutes. So we'll be right on schedule. So I'm going to solo her. Let's see.
Million hearts.
Love it.
So it's going very well for me.
Really pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going well for me. I post every single day between 6 and 9 a.m. I'm about to shoot my content.
I'm going to get into all that. Yeah.
I'm not going into that now. I just
know.
wanted to,
No,
you know,
you're just setting
it
the
was,
scene.
I was just setting it up for you, sir. Mr. Coach.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I relinquished the piece of paper to you.
Let's keep in mind.
That's right. All right, I got to go get
Sorry about that.
I'll be back.
Let me pass the mic.
DC.
Hey, David. Yeah. Didn't you go after me last time?
I didn't go after you, Austin.
Yeah. It's your position.
Which I hate, by the way. I'm David Caldwell. I would say that I am still getting started at video. I'm probably the least prolific marketer in the room, which I've been excited about this week. I started doing video like years ago, but probably only really like harnessed it in the last couple of years because as I've started coaching, I needed to find a way to leverage my time. And it was mentioned earlier about how it's kind of like this new piece of lead generation. And for me, I knew I needed to speak to more people at once with the little bit of time that I had. So it's been going really well. Like it's really driving, you know, profitability in our business right now. And but I do feel like I'm still getting started. So
Love it. PG, DC to PG.
DC to PG. So Phil Gertis, I'm a real estate agent out of Annapolis, Maryland. So I actually started in video about 11 years ago. In a previous industry, I started a video series called Dominate Your Life because I had a team of around 13,000 people and I couldn't contact them all, so I wanted to train them. And I put it on YouTube, and it was very, very scary because I wasn't good on video. And I remember I used to tell my wife that she had to take my son, leave the house, and I would lock the door to the house so she couldn't come back in.
Nobody can know I'm doing this. I'm going to publish it.
I'm going to put it on YouTube, but no one can know.
Nobody can know I'm doing this.
But listen, to make it better, I would go in my office where I had my little terrible camera set up on a tripod, and I would actually lock the office door in case she found a way to break into the house.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that was me.
Okay.
And then
you really thought that one through.
I really did. I had every plan. I locked the windows, everything.
And then they got on the internet.
Yeah.
And then,
so fast forward to now I become a real estate agent, and I was working on hustle pillars, like open houses, things like that. I called a lot of expireds, and then I went in 2017. I went to a summit, and it's the first time I saw Tom, and Tom just kept saying video, video, video. So I went home, and about a week later, I was shooting and throwing video content out. And it was cool because Tom kept saying, like, it's not going to get you what you want right now. It took I remember the time it took 3 years where I said, oh my goodness, I don't have time for any of my hustle pillars. My top of mind business has now taken over my entire business. Wow. And you called it come list me calls, right? And I trust you calls. There you go, right?
I took it from you. You said it first.
Well, that's that. So, so I trust you calls started coming in, and they just haven't stopped.
That's amazing. Love it. All right, let's go Chris Kwan, and then we're going to get into some questions.
Chris Kwan from Orange County, California.
Did you think about that?
I didn't think about that. It was kind of slow. Sorry.
You think about moving to Texas?
No, but I knew to call. So I started in video 6-7 years ago, but more of like the family vlogs. You know, I wanted to get into like families. My daughter, she's like turning 6 this month, and she was born, and I was like, the pictures are great, but I really want to capture the moment, and the best way for me to do that was through video. So I started creating video, just getting behind the scenes with the video, buying cameras, all sorts of stuff, and I really loved it. And then we had a couple of events that we were talking about with like summits and masterminds and all sorts of things, and I was like, this is what I want to do. And also at the same time, I was having trouble breaking into a farm. For years and years, I was putting money toward it, door knocking, doing everything that I could, and I couldn't break into it for the longest time. And it was like 2.5 years, and I was ready to give up. And I was like, do I really want to give up 2.5 years worth of work? And I was like, okay, if I start doing the video and layer it on with all the other stuff that I'm doing, I can do it. And in that year, I actually broke into the farm, and I've been consistently in the top 2 or 3 in the farm for the last 4 or 5 years now. And so I was like, okay, this is my way in, this is my edge, and nobody in my market is doing it at any sort of level. So I figured if I just did it, I'd be fine, right? And now it's just trying to get better at it, better and better and better. So, but I'd say it's been tremendous. I mean, my growth every single year, as soon as I started coaching, doubled my business. Every year it's been, after that, it's been better and better and better, and this year has been the best year that I've had by far. So
it's amazing. Yeah. All right, so powerhouse group, you guys are all killing it. I want to talk about short form vertical video content in particular. But I think one of the sticking points, we already kind of like hearing your origin stories of how you got started in the video. What was the drunk monkey you had to overcome in your head, locking windows and doors and all kinds of crazy things, whatever it takes to make the video. But I think a lot of people get bottlenecked on the creative process of, my gosh, it's a time commitment, it's hard. I want to know, like, just break down super fast answers. What's your creative process from start to finish? And you can get technical with me. You can talk about how you idea generate what you're going to talk about. You can talk about the shoot day. You can talk about the distribution. I want to know your creative process, or rather I want everybody to know, like, what's going on behind the scenes. They're used to seeing the videos drop like bam, bam, bam. What are y'all doing to make those things happen periodically or regularly? Who wants to go first? I know Glenda's ready. Let's get the mic to Glenda.
So I batch shoot my content 11 hours a day, 1 day a month.
Okay.
And we were talking last night, and I've only shot with Denver 14 days. Like, I just think about like all of the bank of content I've been able to create in 14 days. So you look at it and you see it on social media and you're like, oh, this is, she posts this every day. How does she do this? How does she have time to work? Well, I've only done content creation for 14 days. And just like Steven said,
you're pretty good at it for only having got it 2 weeks.
I'm getting better. So this month we shoot December 16th, and my goal is to create 50 videos. Right now my high is 42, so I'm going to shoot 50 videos on December 16th.
Yeah, you are.
I'm all excited about that. I love a goal. But like Steven said, I used to call people and do like for sale by owners and expireds and cold calls. Now my hour of power is comments, likes, engagements, and posting. And what I think that a lot of people are missing is the exponential reach of the hour now. Because used to my hour of power was how many phone calls? Maybe 30. On a good day. On the best day was 30. And now, now I will have 30 views on a video within the first 1 or 2 minutes. I mean, the video I posted this morning already has 9,000 views.
Yeah, you're gonna get you have 30 views in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah,
pretty much.
So it's amazing. I think that a lot of agents are underrating the reach and how relevant the content needs to be.
Yeah, to your point, like the conversation starting potential of video.
Well, and this is the thing is, what would I have said to those 30 people that I would have called? So Glenda, what do you post? I'm just not sure what content. What would you have talked to those 30 people about? What would you have talked to a for sale by owner about? What would you talk to somebody who wants to buy a house? So that's what you're doing in your content creation. And we do it throughout the month. So I see an idea, I see something that looks interesting to me. I consume content. That way I know what to put out. And what are my people biting into? That's what is relevant to my people. So if I'm speaking Japanese to people who only speak English, then they're not going to bite into it. Yeah. You've got to speak the same language as your audience.
Yeah, love that. So 11 hours. Go ahead, DC.
Yes, you can.
Can you put on the microphone?
Could you have gone to those full day, 14 days of shooting without starting with like the stories in the Porsche? Or do you think you had to start with the stories in the Porsche to build the skill set to be able to do the whole day of shooting?
Okay, so great question. So Zachary said something this morning that I thought was great. He goes, you've got to get in the gym and start the reps. And so for me, Post from the Porsche was literally me getting in the gym and walking on the treadmill. And now I'm literally a marathon runner on that treadmill. And had I not started with those posts from the Porsche and gotten comfortable, because for me, I grew up as an only child, and I would talk to myself in the mirror. And I was so comfortable looking at that phone in my car that it was just like me talking to myself in the mirror, because like I didn't have anybody else to talk to. So for me, it worked out perfectly, and I love that. But what's so strange now is I cannot talk to the camera. Everything that I do is unscripted. There is no script. And so, but I can't talk to the camera. If I'm looking at the camera, it doesn't work. So I've got to look off frame and talk to Sam to make it work.
I'm Jason.
So, yeah, but that's the thing, is you've got to A/B test what works. And Denver said, you're great in conversation. You're not great at looking at the camera. So let's not try and force the square peg into the round hole.
It's great advice. Now, one
No
more question
charge
for
for
you
that
before you
tip.
give it the mic. See, it's unscripted. You're shooting for 11 hours. The goal is to get 50 videos in that one sit down. How are you creating a log of ideas, or are you just coming in with no ideas, cold turkey, going to do this thing?
No. I create them all throughout the month. I text them over to Denver. We keep a running log of what we're going to talk about. So like this morning, I did a podcast with Zachary and Scott and Tom, and there were a couple of ideas that came up, and I'm like grabbing a piece of paper. I'm like taking notes. When I get that thought, I need to put it somewhere, because I'm moving so fast that if you don't stop and write it down right that second, then it's gone. You're going to forget it. Yeah. And I want to make sure. We talked about Credit Karma, and I was like, I've got a great story about Credit Karma.
Yeah.
So I wrote that down. And I think that that's one thing that people, they think that they've got to come up with it when they're sitting down in front of the video, the camera. That's too late.
Yep.
It's too late, because you've got to have a clear mind, and you've got to be able to speak in sound bites.
I love that.
Short form video, you've got to learn to speak in sound bites.
That's a great piece of advice. I want to go Steve and Kim real quick.
Yeah, no charge for that tip.
That's a good soundbite. You're right. Let's go Steve and Kim. So Steve and Kim, you're publishing just a ton of content, a ton of video, and I know that you're batching it out and you're pretty ahead of schedule most of the time.
Yep.
Talk to us about your creative process.
Creative process. So I'm 60 days, at least 60 days ahead of schedule all the time. So I go on holidays or something happens, whatever the case may be, like it's consistently going out. Right now, so actually I don't use Trello anymore, just because we have such a great system with Google Drive, G Drive, but I used to get everything put into Trello boards. And for those who aren't familiar
Like
with
topics
that,
and stuff, I'm going to talk about
Monday,
this.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'd upload everything. I pin my videographer or my editor at that time, and then he would get everything ready to go. So everything.
How often were you filming?
I was filming every Monday from 9:30 till about 1, 2 o'clock. Now I can do twice a month and get
The same amount of content?
Get a month's
Because
worth of content.
it's the reps.
It's the reps, and the big thing is like for people who struggle with video, I found having a consistent theme really beneficial. It helped me to not think too much about, okay, well, 3 Thursdays down the road, what am I going to post? Well, that's a think about it Thursday. I know I'm going to hit you with a quote. So just having that planned out was really, really, really beneficial for me.
I love
staying
that.
Staying ahead of schedule.
So I want to get a different.
So thirsty.
I want to switch to Zach's perspective, because Zach, I'm going to make a bold statement that may be untrue.
Okay.
You're not batching out content like they're
False.
batching out content.
Oh, not like they're batching. No. But
What is, for whatever reason, when I look at your stuff on TikTok or Instagram, it feels on a lot of levels far more like just thought of this.
So
Sorry. Oh boy. Anyway, I'm stopping there. There's going to be more tomorrow, but you need to hear people's stories, I think, to help your confidence level, perhaps. It takes practice, practice, practice. Uncomfortable becomes comfortable with practice and action. And that's what it takes with video. It's like she said, you go to the gym and you just get on that treadmill and start your reps. And that's how you have to look at video. You've got to just begin. And I'm going to do a short video at the end of the when I end the show and give you maybe an idea, because you can absolutely copy what other people across the country are doing. You know, if in the beginning you don't know, oh my gosh, how does she come up with, Glenda said, let's see her numbers. She'll do 11 hours of video, okay, in 14 days. And that's 154 hours of video. That's incredible. But the content just grows because, and what happens once you begin, your imagination says, oh my gosh, somebody just asked me this question yesterday. I had Jennifer come in yesterday and she asked me a question. Nobody had ever asked me that question before. It was a property management related question. I could have done a video about it. And she couldn't do a video about the experience. You don't have to mention names. It's the topic. And again, the other important thing that you need to, that practice will help, is sound bites. So I'm going to end the show today. Sorry, Jimmy didn't show up. Maybe he'll show up tomorrow, hopefully. He's a busy guy. I know that. And so goodbye, everybody. It's the good life we're living. Love you. Vegas is just